Hey, we got a Dodger win on a Tuesday night. We got not a bullpen game on a Tuesday night post-game edition of Dodgers Territory, and we've got Greg Bergman. I'm pointing the wrong way. I got to get better at that. You would think I've been doing this for years.
Mirrors.
The mirroring. But that is Greg Bergman in the flesh on the internet at Corporate Greg. Of course, you guys know him, the guy who does probably too many things over there at ESPN LA Radio. And of course, one of your fine hosts of Blue Review every morning on, every weekday morning on ESPN LA's YouTube channel, where you'll also find me on Monday mornings. But Greg, listen, I feel pretty dang good. The Dodgers win, and as I'm about to put here on the screen, Dodgers win, and Yamamoto gets the runs. We were talking while the early throws of the game were going here, and you couldn't ask for a better start to this game.
No, absolutely not. Yamamoto looking up and seeing, wait, whoa, that's not a 0 on the board. Wait, that's a 4? Not even a 1? It's a 4 spot in the first inning. For me, it's ever been heard of before. So, this is one of those things that when he actually can get some run support, he actually looked a little bit nervous in the second inning, actually. So he got the run support. He's like, I don't know what to do with this. And it took before he got a couple of outs, he looked a little bit off. But it was great to see him actually get run support, and you better get run support against a team like the White Sox.
Yeah, I love you. You texted me the same thing I was thinking a few minutes before, in that moment. It's like he didn't seem like he knew what to do with those runs, but thankfully locks it right the F back in, and what an outing for Yamamoto there. Welcome to July with a 7-inning, 1 earned run performance. By the way, John Hardtongue in the the pregame show on Sportsnet LA, that was his prediction. He picked Yamamoto as his pick to click, and he nailed that. But guys, sound off in the comments, by the way. What did you like about this game? What did you hate about this game? There's not a whole lot to hate about this game. Shohei had himself a day. Andy Pajes had himself a day. Again, runs in the first inning. I also do want to remind you guys quickly, Dodgers Territory has a store now. It is open. Check out the store if you would not mind. Click that little, what is that, a QR code? Scan it. You go to DodgersTerritoryShop.com or click the store button here on YouTube. Support the show in style. Support me. Support Alana. By the way, Alana out today. She is on vacation. I forgot where she said she's going, but somewhere better. Oh, did you want the? I
was trying to get to the QR code.
There it is. Look at it. Just for you, everybody. Be cool like Greg Bergman. And
Shop.com. I love it.
Get yourself some merch, swag out for the second half of the postseason. The second half of the regular season here. But yeah, it's kind of funny with Yamamoto, and we'll bring the. let me make sure I have it set up right. We'll bring the comments in here. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us in the chat. I think the stat was 3 first inning runs of support all season long, and then he had 4 in the first inning here. Like, Yamamoto getting points on the board early, it's just fun to watch him kind of work with that, because as we've said a number of times, there's a reason every team was in on this dude, at least the high dollar teams were in on this dude, and why the Dodgers gave him a cool $325 million. Dude is an absolute stud. He's an ace, and he was dealing tonight once again.
Yeah, no, he absolutely was. And this is two starts in a row too against the Rockies. He was phenomenal too. He gave up nothing in there. It was just was it the Rockies? Yeah, or was it?
Yeah, and then it was 56 pitches over 5 innings before the rain.
Yeah. And then the rain came, and he got those 2 run support because Muncy popped the ball into the air, and it just happened to land in front of the first baseman in the second, in between Orlando Arcia, and it just dropped. And you're like, that's how we're going to get you run support? This is what it takes to get run support for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. But I think much better today, and it was nice. It actually didn't feel that way at first. It didn't feel like it was going to go there, because you went 1-2 when Shohei Freddie right off the bat out really quick within like 5-6 pitches, and then all of a sudden by the end of the inning, it was at 24-25. So it all of a sudden just kind of took off. And because of guys like Max Muncy, Will Smith, and Andy Pajes, it's now the middle of the lineup. The middle of the lineup is really starting to come together. And when that portion of it is hitting well, it makes a massive, massive difference because you're going to assume that Shohei, Freddie, Mookie, Teo are going to get on for the most part here and there. So that middle part of the lineup is such a big deal to get run support, and it happened tonight. It was just great to finally see it for Yama. Just because July is the new year, new month for Yama.
Brand new.
Nothing in June, everything in July.
Is this his first time technically pitching in July? Because was he hurt in June last year? I don't remember how that went, but a little bit more Yamamoto. I see we got a super chat from my buddy Kevin Uhas, $5 super chat for the channel saying #free Richie. Richie could be freed over on All Dodgers after this show is up. Jeff and Kevin will be live on my other YouTube channel. Matty Man 5 Dodge, give me some love, by the way. Greg Bergman, smart cat, knows baseball, and that's why I love talking baseball with this dude. But
Matty Man.
Yamamoto now has a career high in regular season innings. Last year he threw 60 regular season innings for the Dodgers. Now it's 60. I think it's 66. Or sorry, 90. Now he's at 96 for the season. The last thing I'll have on Yamamoto, because we got to talk offense. We got to talk Shohei. We got to talk 5 consecutive 2-out hits in that first inning to get to the 4 runs in the first. But are there any concerns now if we're talking about Yamamoto still having an entire second half of the regular season to go, like letting him go, letting it eat, like, or do you kind of maybe try to bake in a little bit of time for him, a little bit of time off, like I think they planned before, all that kind of stuff? Are you worried about him just continuing to go through the rest of the season? Because that's apparently a thing we need to do these days.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to do that for him. I think they will find a place for him to get some time off. It just, like you said, this is the most innings he ever pitched in Major League Baseball. He's obviously pitched a ton more over in Japan, but it's different, a different kind of different ball. Everything's a little bit different, but it depends, like, what do you want from him? It's everything that you do for the Dodgers is all about the postseason. So do you want him pitching well in July and August, or do you want him pitching well in September and October? I think they're going to lean more towards that September, October. The problem is right now they don't have enough arms to give him some time now. And him and Dustin May, weirdly enough, are the only ones going every single time in their return in tournament rotation. So until they do get some guys back, until Glass now decides that he doesn't want to have it, his ankle doesn't hurt, then he can come back at some point. Then, and if Snell can come back, if you can start to have a full rotation behind Yama and Sasaki, I saw today that he has no pain right now, so that's a good thing. When those guys come back and you have a little bit more of a breathing room in that pitching staff, then you can give Yama that little break that he needs. But for right now, you just can't.
Yeah, you really cannot. They're not afforded that luxury at all. I like that point. Hopefully, in the second half of the season here, we start to get some arms back, start to get some bodies back. I'm not counting on very much from Roki Sasaki. I would kind of identify that as more of a nice-to-have rather than you need to have him in the second half. But hopefully, hey, if he's feeling good, if he's feeling froggy, he can start getting off a mound soon, and things will start trending in a really good direction for this team. More Dodgers territory to come. I did want to put this comment up there from Elisheva Jones saying, I think Alana is prettier. I'm assuming that's about you, Greg, but
I would hope so. And yes, she is very much prettier than I am. I will take that one.
Is that
Elisheva on TikTok, by the way? The same one.
I have.
You don't know.
I don't TikTok. I don't believe in the TikTok.
You know, when you live in a world in a world of ESPN LA and it's all about social media and everything, you got to be up on the TikToks.
See what the kids are into.
Have a person. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Well, shout out to any Elisheva that's on either supporting us here on Dodger shows, which she's great. She's on just about every show that I'm usually around, and she's phenomenal. Very supportive of Dodgers content creators here on YouTube. So we very much appreciate that. And everybody else who's in the chat here, Roy Estrada, a bunch of people, BC, our guy Richie, who dropped in a super chat. But first, we got to hear from our friends over at Foul Territory. Then we'll be back and we'll talk about the offense.
We're going to take you through the latest card that I pulled in my Arena Club slab pack, AJ. And here it is. I pulled a Jared Jones card. So Jared Jones is going to be out for a minute, but I'm going to hold on to this one for the long term. He was nasty in his rookie season.
Agreed. This is a great card to pull. It's going to go up in value once he comes back because this guy dealt in his rookie season, gets punch outs, he gives the innings. Once he's back, Scott, you're in it for the long term. Don't give up on Jared Jones or this card you got from Marina Club.
Yep, there it is. That's how you pull a slab pack card. It's very cool. It's all fancy and digital. You can get it sent to you physically. And if you want to sell it right back to Arena Club, you can do that with their buyback option right away, or you can hold it right now. You can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase. Just go to arenaclub.com/FOUL. Use code FOUL. We've been talking about Arena Club all season long because they dominate the hobby. If you buy, sell, trade, collect, go for it.
6 runs on the board for the Dodgers against the lowly White Sox. I will give some credit to their pitcher. Was it Shane Smith or something like that? Yeah, he looked pretty nasty in the first inning. Dodgers obviously just a little bit too much for him, but very simple delivery, 99 miles per hour. But apparently Dodgers offense a little bit too much there. Andy Pajes with an RBI single there. How about the legend of Michael Conforto, Hall of Famer? Much here, 6 hits, 6 RBI over his last 5 games, but he was a big part of that 5 consecutive 2 out base hits, which led to the 4 runs for the Dodgers in the first, in the bottom of the first, and of course some actual run support for Yamamoto. But beyond that, a couple nice plays for Conforto down the line. I feel like we all talk so much about Michael Conforto. I don't really want to talk about him too much. You have anything Conforto to add?
So the only thing I'll add, and yes, I am not one of the Conforto lovers that are out there. I think there's only 1 or 2, but that 6 runs and 6 hits that he's had in the last, 5 games? That what it said? That might have been more than he had in the 75 before that. Yeah. So, that's great for him that he's moving forward. This is positive. You know what? Look, Michael Conforto, if he can start, he's been hitting the ball hard for a long time. He's been for probably about close to a couple of weeks now, maybe even a month. He's hitting the ball hard, but he just wasn't getting hits. So good for him for finally getting out there and actually getting hits and in big spots too, to get some RBIs as well. Yeah. Cole is right. A blind squirrel can find a nut, but if that's going to change and those hard hits are about to fall, that's just good for this Dodger offense that you're talking about. So we can all hate on him. It's fun to do, but look, we still need him to do well.
And considering the plan it feels very much like the plan is going to keep running him out there until you don't have I don't know. As long as they're in first place, I think Giants lost tonight. Padres, they were rained out. So Dodgers continue to grow their lead in the National League West, which I do think we had somebody who mentioned that here. John saying NOS blown wide open right now. But as I think we said this yesterday morning, it's like you are afforded these luxuries to keep. Apparently, we're talking Michael Conforto again, but you're afforded these luxuries, man, to kind of just eventually or see if eventually something happens, and if not, F it, you're still in the lead, and you could make a move later in the season for a James Outman or somebody to take that bench spot, whatever however it plays out. But another note I saw, final Conforto thing, and then I'll let you speak about Conforto, and then we'll move on. I think I also saw, I didn't have the exact number, but I think it was last 17 plate appearances, has not struck out. I'm not 100% sure if that's accurate, but that's honestly a little bit more impressive as well.
Yeah, that is, because he was striking out a lot. I would love to know how many ground ball double plays he's grounded into that, but that's a whole nother story. But look, the problem with it that I have with Conforto is not how bad he's been playing. It's a big part of it, but it's what he's doing to Haesung Kim at this point, because Haesung Kim is not getting time because Conforto has to play left, which means that Edman has to play, Pajes has to play, Teo has to play. There just isn't a space for him. He got in today against a lefty, and a high velocity pitching lefty, because Mookie was out. Otherwise, he probably would have been knocked out yet once again because Conforto was in left field. So that's what I'm kind of more upset about, because I want to see what Haesung Kim has. Mm-hmm. Because if he's not being out there, he's not playing every game after game, you don't know what he's going to be and what he can be for the postseason, where we kind of have an idea of what Michael Conforto is. Not a great outfielder. He didn't make 2 great catches, but besides that, he's not a great outfielder, and he hasn't been very good at the plate. If he's not striking out, he's getting hits, fine, I get it, but I just want to see more Kim to see if he is somebody that can be viable in the later months and in October.
Yeah, and I've been a big arguer of that as well. It's like I don't think Conforto is going to be a big part of the October plan. Let's see if Kim gives them something, and figure it out now before the All-Star break, or else you're not really able to speak now or forever hold your peace, sort of thing. Is what the Dodgers kind of need to do there. But there was more to this game than Yamamoto and Michael Conforto. There's a lot of Ohtani, but I did want to make sure I got Richard Flores with $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Richie, saying, what are two things that never happen? Yamamoto getting run support and Manny Machado having class and morals. He loves a good Manny Machado burn. Of course,
who
Dodgers.
I love any Manny Machado burn you can possibly put out there.
Yeah, he's a real piece of work. And also, Mr. Richard Flores appreciates your living room because my co-host, or one of my co-hosts on my All Dodger show, he works out of the kitchen. So
yeah, I think it's pretty nice actually.
Where was hold on, let's get to the full screen there. Where was your? That is nice. That's a lot of floor plan there. Look at that.
There's a lot of
man. ESPN paying the man.
Oh, it's really not that expensive.
But I know where I'm going for my dancing lessons. We're going to Greg Bergman's house.
Plenty of room. Plenty of room.
So much room for activities. All right. Let's talk about Shohei effing Ohtani because he, I guess, is tied with greatness, if you want to call it that, or a flash in the pan fluke season that was Cody Bellinger's 2019. But I'm calling it Cody Ohtani here. Most Dodgers homers for a Dodger in the first half. Shohei now ties Cody Bellinger with 30 bombas here in the first half, and he's just been show damn good. You see here, first 86 games, Shohei just keeps extending this sort of record. He has been phenomenal. 30 homers is a Dodgers franchise record over 86 games. And listen, if we're saying first half, I'm like, the first half technically has passed, but I know we don't call it the first half until you get to the All-Star game. But superlatives about Shohei, throw them at me.
Yeah, there isn't enough superlatives out there.
Yeah.
But Shohei is one of the most amazing players I've ever seen play baseball, and I don't think that's hyperbole in the slightest. He does things that you just don't see anybody else do. The 30 home runs, the 50-50 last year. Every time a big moment happens, he is usually right in the middle of it. There's nothing. He's going to, at some point in this season or next season, he's going to have a multi-home run game and pitch 6 innings, shutout ball. Like, it's something like that is going to happen. And that's just something that we've never seen. And this is, everybody compares it to Babe Ruth because that's the only guy that's really done both. But Babe Ruth didn't even do this type of stuff. He stopped pitching. He pitched like for a little bit and then he went straight to hitting and that was it. So this is on a whole nother level for anybody else. The guy is just a monster. And every time he hits, you think it's going to leave the park. The fact he's a Dodger just makes everything so much more exciting.
Yeah, he is a fun baseball dude to watch. I saw this. I just want to throw this up, completely derailing any semblance of continuity to the show. But I love Alex's comment. It says ESPN Moolah. that's pretty dang good.
I'm telling you, if you saw what my rent check is every month, you would not be saying that.
Hey, listen. Greg loves some good rent control. I tell you what.
Yes, he does. My last name. Actually, I won't do that.
Yeah. Listen. We don't want to get too crazy. Hey, Diane is checking in from Vegas. What's going on,
Hi,
Diane? Hopefully, you're winning all the slots or whatever people do in Vegas. One guy who's trying to win himself a ticket to the Midsummer Classic is Andy Pajes, trying to be a first-time National League All-Star, and he had himself another solid game, couple hits in here, an RBI double, I believe it was in the first inning. But he has been incredible with runners in scoring position, and overall, I mean, he is just a complete baseball player. And we've talked like off and on, Dodgers really haven't had, they haven't created a solid position player for quite some time. Last guy was probably Will Smith. You could definitely say Will Smith. Gavin Lux didn't really pan out. Like, is Andy Pajes? Is it too early to say like he is the real deal? He is a budding, I don't know if it's superstar, but a budding star in this league.
Oh no, he absolutely is a budding star in this league. I mean, I think we saw some of it last year, and it just wasn't really fully clicking. And then
Yeah.
you saw what was going on at the beginning of the season, where that wasn't at all. It looked, people were clamoring him to go back down to AAA, but it was always like, all right, give him some time, let's see what he can do for a little while, and then all of a sudden it just flipped out of nowhere. He was running into outs. He was a terrible base runner. He was overrunning balls in the outfield. And he was saying, "Oh my God, this guy's a mess in the outfield," but he has this crazy strong arm. So, you got to keep putting him out there. Now, instead, excuse me. Now, instead, he's a great defensive outfielder. He is not running into outs. He is hitting with runners in scoring position and just hitting in general. He has more home runs than he did all of last year, and we're only halfway through the season. And he has just become what everybody expects a guy to come up from the Dodgers organization. And it's just nice to see that there's another one in the pipeline that came up and just doing just that. Because without him, this team is not in first place right now. Without him, he was stealing home runs for Roki Sasaki, stealing home runs from everybody.
Forgot about that.
Hitting home runs. Like, the guy has just been, without him, and you have all these other superstars, but without him, they're losing games in the middle of the season.
Because
Absolutely.
who else would be playing in the outfield? That's the thing. I mean, maybe we see more Hess on Kim or whatever, but I love Andy Pajes. He deserves all the flowers he is getting these days. Mike Schilt knows his effing name now. Oh, we could say fucking on the show, but he knows his name now, and I hope people are voting for him for the All-Star game. I do have two more, I don't know if they're spicy questions for you, but I think they're two more hot-ish questions for you. Hot-ish. We're kind of done with game talk. I want to talk about two other things, but first, you guys are going to hear from Alana and I about DraftKings.
Nothing beats relaxing on a hot summer day and watching baseball. And the simplest way to get in on the action is to download the Pick 6 app from DraftKings.
Yeah, it's crazy simple. You just pick more or less on the stats for two or more of your favorite players, and boom, you're in the mix for big cash prizes. Nail your picks, and then you start heating up. Pick 6 brings upside and payouts up to 500 times.
Pick 6 from DraftKings is the most fun way to play fantasy sports. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code FOUL. That's code FOUL for new customers to get a special sign-up offer. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
And we're back. I told you we got Greg Bergman here hanging out with us. Alana, she's having a vacation, well-deserved vacation. She will be back with me on Monday. I'm going, I don't know who's with me on Thursday yet, but I will be live on Thursday. And Greg, before the game, we saw a shot of Miguel Vargas getting his World Series ring. Listen, do they just give away too many World Series rings now? Like, if the Dodgers win this year, like Zach Penrod, I think, gets a World Series ring. This is my spicy question. Are there just too many players receiving these rings?
So, yeah, I think so. But at the same time, like, if you were one of those players, if you were Miguel Vargas, do you want that ring? Like, I get it for Miguel Vargas. I mean, without trading Vargas to the White Sox, we don't get Kopech. You don't get Flaherty. Like, you don't, like, things, or not, sorry, not Flaherty. You don't get Kopech. And that was a big part of the bullpen dogs.
It's part of the same trade. It was a 3-team trade, I think. But even so, go ahead.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, they all kind of melded together. So I get it for him, but, like, would you even want that World Series ring? I don't know if I would. I mean, it's cool to have it, but you're like, yeah, I was traded like 2 months into the season, so
yeah, it's
I could play in the postseason. I mean, I could get if you're on the team, but don't play in the game. Like, Clayton Kershaw gets a ring. He was on the team.
Yeah,
but,
and he played an important role in the middle of the season. The only reason he wasn't a part of the postseason roster is because he was hurt. Like, you understand that much, but like, let's say like a James Paxton. I'm trying to pull up last year's roster. Like
Paxton
Jason,
was really important at the beginning of the year.
Imagine Jason Hayward getting that ring. Like if I'm Jay Hay, I don't want that ring. Here you go, Nick Ahmed in there. How about Ahmed Rosario?
Oh, geez.
There you go.
Back and forth.
That's where
he likes to hit home runs off the Dodgers.
It chucks that sumbitch right there. But those are the ones. Taylor Trammell, Dodgers legend. Taylor Trammell.
Did he play like 1 or 2 games? It was terrible.
It's 5 games, 6 plate appearances. Negative. Kevin Biggio in the flesh. We're gonna sign out of here real quick. But I don't know. That's just funny. I think there's too many. Too many rings going out there. You know what? I have one more thing, but I don't really care. It's going to be more just old men yelling at a cloud, and I don't think we need to do that. Cole asking Manuel Margot or bringing up Margot. I don't think Margot would get one. He was traded during spring training. But then again, this organization's all class. I would not be shocked if they still gave him a ring just for being around. That said, I would like a ring.
Yeah, I'd like a ring too, but I want to know what I want to yell about a cloud. I like yelling at clouds.
Well, the final thing, quickly, because I know my boys are going live at over on my YouTube channel, but are there also there's just too many Dodgers on the All-Star ballot here?
There's a lot, man, and if right there, that's only 7. The one's missing. Like Pages isn't on there. Oh no, he is.
No, Pages is on there. Shohei's not on there because you can't vote for him. He's locked in there. But listen,
yeah.
Teoscar, I love him, doesn't belong on there. Pete Crow Armstrong is an absolute star and deserves to be on there. Ketel Marte is your starting second baseman for the National League.
Acuna Jr. is going to be out there. He's been great the last month, and it's in Atlanta, so he's going to be in the outfield.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Pages should be out there too.
I would love for Andy Pages. Yeah, I think he will. And Dave running the team, I think that plays a good role as well. We want Muncy, Ohtani boy. That's the one guy who needs to be on there. Max Muncy's having a hell of a season, and it's a better season, in my opinion, and statistically, than Manny Machado's. But, guys, that's about it. That is Greg Bergman. I appreciate you hanging out with me, bud. Let me push the button that shows your name and all that kind of stuff again. Because not that one. But, guys, give him a follow. It's at Corporate Greg on the social medias. Now there's too many things in the way, so I'll go ahead and eliminate that one. This is a post-game legend, and I'm happy to do this show with you, man. Guys, check out the Dodgers Territory shop once again if you don't mind. There's stuff. Support the show, support me, support Alana, all that kind of stuff. Go tube into my other YouTube channel, All Dodgers. Jeff and Kevin are going to be live right now, right after we sign off. But yeah, huge thanks to Greg for filling in for Alana, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Catch him in the morning on Blue Review, ESPN LA YouTube, tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. Bye.
Appreciate it.